Zayn Malik, the enigmatic former heartthrob of One Direction turned introspective solo artist, has once again bared his soul to the world, this time through the lens of his fourth studio album, Room Under the Stairs. In a candid revelation that has sent ripples through his devoted fanbase, Zayn has proclaimed this collection of tracks as his most honest work to date, a raw, unfiltered tapestry woven from the threads of his personal triumphs, heartaches, and unyielding passion for music. At 32 years old, Zayn stands at a crossroads of self-discovery, no longer the wide-eyed boy from Bradford who captivated millions with boy band anthems, but a man who stared into the abyss of fame's isolating glare and emerged with a voice that's both whisper-soft and thunderously resonant. Room Under the Stairs, released earlier this year to critical acclaim and commercial success, isn't just an album, it's a confessional, a sonic diary where every lyric drips with the authenticity that eluded his earlier endeavors. Whenever I talk about Room Under the Stairs, it's always a really good conversation that I can have, Zayn shared in a recent intimate takeover of a major radio platform, his voice carrying the weight of genuine vulnerability. I feel like I was the most involved with that record in terms of what I was trying to say, what my point was, and even just putting actual life experience into lyricism rather than it just sounding cool. To understand the profundity of this statement, one must rewind to Zayn's tumultuous journey from global pop sensation to solitary songwriter. Leaving One Direction in 2015 amid whispers of burnout and a yearning for artistic freedom was a seismic shift, one that thrust him into the unforgiving solo spotlight with Mind of Mine in 2016. That debut was a bold declaration of independence, blending R&B grooves with themes of love and identity, but it was still tinged with the polish of expectation. Follow-up albums like Icarus Falls and Nobody Is Listening peeled back more layers, experimenting with genre-blending sounds and introspective narratives, yet Zayn himself has admitted they sometimes prioritized aesthetic allure over emotional nakedness. Enter Room Under the Stairs, a project born not in a sterile studio but in the quiet corners of his Pennsylvania farm, where the former boy band star tends to his bees, raises his daughter Kai with ex-partner Gigi Hadid, and finds solace in the rhythms of rural life. This album is the culmination of that grounded existence. A 15-track odyssey that clocks in at just over 40 minutes but packs the emotional punch of a lifetime. What sets Room Under the Stairs apart, as Zayn so eloquently articulates, is its unapologetic honesty. Gone are the veiled metaphors and glossy productions. In their place are stark admissions of imperfection, love's lingering scars, and the quiet beauty of self-acceptance. Tracks like the titular opener pulse with a folksy intimacy, Zayn's falsetto gliding over acoustic strums that evoke late-night confessions by a flickering fire. What I am is pretty self-explanatory, you know, he continued during his radio session, his tone a blend of humility and resolve. I'm not always great. I'm not a finished article, I'm not always perfect, but I try and I have intent in the right place and I feel like I love, and if you can accept that, then this is what I am. These words aren't mere rhetoric. They're the ethos bleeding into every chord and verse. Songs such as Alienated confront the alienation of fame with a poignancy that feels ripped from Zayn's own journals, while Dreamin' offers a tender lullaby for Kai, capturing the transformative terror and joy of fatherhood. It's as if Zayn has finally granted himself permission to be messy, to let the cracks show without fear of judgment, and in doing so, he's crafted something universally relatable. Delving into the album's creation process reveals even more about Zayn's evolution. Unlike his previous records, which often involved high-profile collaborators and cross-continental sessions, Room Under the Stairs was a deeply collaborative yet fiercely personal affair, helmed by producers like Dave Cobb, known for his work with rootsy icons like Chris Stapleton. Zayn immersed himself in the music for months, scribbling lyrics in the margins of parenting books and drawing inspiration from the pastoral quietude of his surroundings. The result is a sonic palette that's refreshingly stripped down, warm guitars, subtle percussion, and Zayn's voice as the unvarnished centerpiece. He poured actual life experience into the mix, transforming personal milestones into poetry. The ache of his 2021 breakup with Gigi, the redemptive power of therapy, and the spiritual undercurrents that have guided him since embracing his Muslim heritage more fully in recent years. I have intent in the right place, he emphasized, a phrase that echoes throughout the album like a mantra. It's this intentionality that elevates Room Under the Stairs from mere music to a mirror, reflecting back the listener's own unfinished stories. Fans, long starved for Zayn's unfiltered truth, have responded with fervor. Social media timelines overflow with testimonials from listeners who found solace in his vulnerability, tattooing lyrics on their skin, sharing cover versions in dimly lit bedrooms, and penning essays about how the album reframed their own struggles. For Zayn, this connection is the ultimate validation. During his radio takeover on that crisp Thursday evening, he fielded questions with an openness that felt revolutionary for someone once shrouded in mystery. He spoke of the catharsis and vulnerability, how admitting, "I'm not always great," freed him from the pedestal he'd been reluctantly placed upon. It's a narrative arc that mirrors broader cultural shifts. In an age of performative perfection on platforms like Instagram, Zayn's embrace of imperfection feels like a rebellion, a call to arms for authenticity in art and life alike. Yet, Zayn's honesty extends beyond the album's themes into his very public persona. The man who once inked his torso with intricate tattoos symbolizing rebellion now tattoos his music with the scars of growth. Fatherhood, in particular, emerges as a recurring motif, a grounding force that tempers his artistic fire. Kai, now 3 years old, isn't just a muse, she's the compass steering Zayn toward gentler expressions of self. Tracks like My Woman pay homage to the women who've shaped him, from his mother to Gigi, with a gratitude that borders on reverence. And in quieter moments like the haunting closer Stardust, Zayn grapples with legacy, not the pop star kind but the human one, what we leave behind in the hearts of those we love. "I feel like I love," he said simply, a line that encapsulates the album's core. It's not grandiosity, it's quiet conviction, the kind earned through trial and error. As Zayn promotes Room Under the Stairs with low-key appearances and surprise drops, one senses he's entering a new era of artistic maturity. No longer chasing chart toppers or viral hooks, he's content to let the music speak, trusting that true fans will find it in the room under the stairs, that hidden space in our souls where honesty resides. His radio confession serves as a beacon. Imperfection isn't a flaw, it's the foundation of connection. For Zayn Malik, deeming this his most honest work isn't hyperbole. It's a homecoming, a declaration that the boy who once harmonized in arenas has grown into a man who sings from the depths.